It is time, right? Because it is ladies' night right here on Culture Vibes. Our second featured queen, Miss Venessa McLean, coming up next. Culture Vibes, keep it locked.
KNR
Kingdom Nubia Radio.
The beat of the kingdom. The beat of the kingdom.
Higher upliftment, higher meditation, higher elevation. Achieve cause high grade, we are represent for Hempress Selekatress out of the Culture Vibes radio show, Dallas, Texas. You see me, I say KNR Radio1.com. You see me, I say, and I saw the thing set, you don't know it.
Culture Vibes, we are back. And we are live with our second featured guest for Ladies Night. That's right, Culture Vibes. For you, those of you who are just tuning in, you are locked into Culture Vibes radio show with me, your hostess, Empress Selekatress, and this is Ladies Night. Yes, we are closing out Women's Month, the month of March, with two featured ladies. And our guest at this time, our featured guest at this time, is Miss Venessa McLean. Welcome to Culture Vibes.
Good night, Hempress. Good night, world. Thank you for having me.
Bless up yourself. You're very welcome. I'm so glad that you could join us here on Culture Vibes and share your music with us. So I want to say welcome, and I would like to give you this opportunity to, familiarize the listeners of Culture Vibes with you, who you are. How did you get your start in music?
I am the daughter of the Most High God, who has endowed me biologically and genetically with a gift. And it started with my father, Ranchie McLean, who is a Multi Grammy award-winning artist. He is a bass guitarist, and he was responsible for, writing the song "Rubber Dub Partner" by Cliff, and responsible for creating a lot of the, reggae. He was one of the creators of Predestined at Birth.
Wow. That is amazing. Your father is a Grammy Award-winning singer. That is amazing. Congratulations. That's a big honor to have in your family. So, yes, like you said, it's in your genes. It's destined for you to be, who you are, which is a great, great artist. And I want to introduce your music to Culture Vibes. Those who have not heard yet of Miss Venessa McLean, I would like you to check out a song called I Am Covered. Check it out, Culture Vibes.
Well, this is Jermaine Wilmot alongside Venessa McLean. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High God shall abide.
I will ascend up the Lord. He's my refuge and my fortress. In him will I trust. Tell my enemies I am covered forevermore. I am covered.
I am covered by the Most High. You set a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You gave the angels charge over me. Surely goodness and mercy
Shall follow me. A thousand shall fall at thy right hand, 10,000 at thy left.
but none shall never come
Culture Vibes. We are back and we are live with Miss Venessa McLean, and we just heard I Am Covered, very beautiful ballad. Tell us about this song.
Well, this song, it is a song of prophecy. I think I didn't, realize it so much when, we did this collaboration, and Brother Wilmot said to me, he said, well, we should do a song and I asked him, what will you have us do? And he said Psalm 91. And the minute he said Psalm 91, I just said, I have to do this song. I said, send me the rhythm. I just knew it was some kind of prophecy or some kind of protection or some kind of message that the Most High was sending down to earth through us. So that is, how this song came. And when I wrote it, it was a time when I was traveling. But, the Most High had just said to me to just sit down and write, because I'm going to give you the words of this song. And that's how this song came. It's a prophecy. And when I look at what's going on in the world today in terms of the coronavirus, I realized that the song is saying sending a message to earth that the Most High will cover his children and that this will pass. And that is what it's saying, and that this song has been adopted by a lot of stations all over the world, and also the churches and the programs, religious programs have adopted I Am Covered, and they have been playing it. So it's a song that says, I am covered and none will share the glory of the Most High. We must remember that the Most High is a jealous God that wants us to live in a righteous or a rightful way, and that, we must live in such a fashion in order to keep his covering. Otherwise, we see the things that are going on because we are living in a way that we should not live. We are living in a way that is taking the covering, the covering away from us by not following the philosophies of goodness and the goodness of the Most High and humanity. So this song is about a covering that comes from the Most High through the way that we must live, that the covering comes.
Wow, that is powerful. And it is, like you said, in such a time that we're living in right now, and for so many people to adopt it as a, kind of like a song for encouragement and uplifting during this time. That's amazing, because it is definitely powerful. It's a very powerful song. So thank you. That was fabulous. And you've been doing gospel from a young age, and you've been lots of choirs and singing with lots of people. You've worked in different genres of music as well. So tell us a little bit about your musical experiences.
Well, I started in the church at the age of around 9, 10 thereabouts. I started, I remember I used to do background singing in the choir. And I was like, you're at they place you according to your height. I was probably at the third row or so, or second row. And I was backgrounding one night, and the choir mistress said, whose voice is that? And I'm like, I stopped. So she said, carry on. And then she walked around and went behind and said, it is you, go forward. And that is how I started lead singing. And, I started lead singing in the church at a tender age, and I was trusted with sometimes lead singing for the junior and senior mass choirs at convention. And my mother was one of these church mamas. Yes, one of these woman of the Most High, woman of God. My mother was a strong woman of God. So she, I had no choice. I had to go into the house of the Most High and worship him. So I was raised that way.
Wow. Well, that's, very understandable, and it definitely shows in the music that it's in you, because you have these beautifully written songs and you sing them so well, and they're very inspirational, to people, especially gospel lovers, but you've also done other genres of music as well. Tell us about some of them.
Oh yes. There was a time when I would go back to a little bit about my church upbringing, and I decided I wanted to sing gospel reggae. But there was no place back in the day for singing gospel reggae back when I was 10 years old or so. So I would go to school and try to sing, clean non-gospel things, and I would get into big trouble for it. So I decided that I'm going to be an academic, and I'm going to not sing anything at all, whether gospel or non-gospel. And my parents died. My mother died, my father died, and I just wake up in the mornings and I would hear, songs playing in my ear, or they would appear to me in a dream. And it wouldn't stop until I write these songs down. And, the songs would keep coming to me. First, it started with the gospel, because my mother, she was anti anything that was not gospel. And when she died, I started hearing songs, some non-gospel, some gospel, and these songs, the quick clean songs, they would come to me in a dream or just through situations and circumstances. So yes, I have an EP coming out that is called Promoting Love. And on the EP, I've got a song called Rainy Love. I've got Crazy Love. I've got Soft Love. Love Don't Work Like That. Self-Love and Power of Love. And these songs are from the reggae, some Afro rhythm, pop. They are cross genres that these songs are coming from. One very interesting song on it is The Crazy Love. It is about an uptown woman, or would have said Christian woman, who falls in love with a man that is, you'd say, a Rasta man, and all hell breaks loose because the Rastas have a problem with it, and so does the church people. So the cover art, I'll describe it for you. It will come out with a Rasta priest and a Christian priest holding their heads and say, "What a guan, You can imagine the look of shock on their face on the cover art and the video that is to come. So, and it will feature a very prominent musician from another musical prince. Will be singing a part. It will be a collaboration where you have a little part will be sung by one of the popular DJs in that Crazy Love song. And Soft Love is the first one that will come out in another couple of weeks, and it is about this kind of man that my mother had envisaged. She had said, as an assertive female, she says, I must get a man that knows how to compliment a soft lady. Like the soft answer turns away wrath, and grievous words stir anger. And my mother had this man that she said is Mr. Soft Love, and she would talk about what he should be to me as a girl. So I have coined my mother's, definition of what a man should be in terms of bringing out the best in a woman in this song called Soft Love, and it will be out in another month or so. It's called Soft Love, that one. And I also have coming up a song called Ghetto Sound. It's with a Tanzanian artist, and he's called Stopa Rhymes, and it's about the poverty in the ghetto, and it's sung in Swahili and English. So that one will come out soon as a single. It will not be part of the Love EP. It will be part of a single. So that's
Wow. You have a lot of great things going on, and definitely it shows your diversity. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of, like you said, different genres you're working with. So Culture Vibes, make sure you look out for the Love EP coming out soon. Where can people follow you or look for the music?
It's VENESSAMCLEAN. It's Venessa McLean, and my Venessa is not with an A. It's Venessa with an E. VENESSAMCLEAN music, or Venessa McLean. I'm on Facebook. You can get me there, or Venessa Gardenia, Gardenia, like the flower. I'm on Instagram as that. So you can connect me on the social media. I respond instantaneously as the media works.
Right.
And on my YouTube channel as well is Venessa McLean. So
okay,
that is.
That's perfect. I love that. And you mentioned your parents, and I'm very sorry to hear about that. And you wrote a song for your mom at that time called Mama's Prayer.
Well, it's called Mama's Prayer, and that entire EP that is coming out very soon, it is dedicated to my mother because as a strong girl, you know, a lot of people, they didn't like the strength in me. So mama would have to pray a lot because people would say that one. There she goes. Singing, you know, even the gifts of God that God gives you as a lead singer, or even the gifts of God, sometimes it makes people, you know, they're not happy for you. So my mother was a woman that she prayed. So, you know, when I said you prayed the wicked mouths of me in Mama's prayer, I mean, there are some wicked mouths that people that, you know, they're like, Michelle was singing a while ago about toxic people. There were some toxic people that mommy had to pray those toxic mouths of me.
Yeah.
So that's where that song Mama's Prayer is coming from. It's in honor of my lovely late mother, Beverlyn Green.
All right. Well, Culture Vibes, I would like for us to check out this song right now. Check it out, Culture Vibes.
Mama, oh.
You're listening to Hempress Selekatress on PNR1 Radio.
Never take your place with a beautiful smile and your gentle ways. Mama, my precious mama, beautiful mama. Ain't no love like a mother's love. Ain't no pride like a mother's pride. No one could ever stop your pride. Oh, it's the greatest pride. You prayed for me, you prayed for me, yeah. You prayed away my doubts and fears. You prayed my visions into reality. You prayed for me, you prayed for me, yeah. You prayed away my doubts and fears. You prayed my visions into reality. You gave my life, you gave my love. The greatest gift you gave was Christ, powerful and victorious. Mama, godly mama. I'm the seed of a righteous one, so blessings always follows me. Your prayers availeth much, mama. The gates of hell could never prevail. You prayed for me, you prayed for me, yeah. You prayed away my doubts and fears. You prayed my visions into reality. You prayed for me, you prayed for me, yeah. You prayed away my doubts and fears. You prayed my visions into reality. Mother of virtue and wisdom, you left those qualities in me. You break the wicked mouths of me. Your godly correction you gave me when no one has believed in me. Mama, you did, my dear. Wonderful and gracious, Mom. You prayed for me and made me strong. You prayed for me. You prayed for me, yeah. You prayed away my doubts and fears. You prayed my visions into reality. You prayed for me. You prayed for me, yeah. You prayed away my doubts and fears. You prayed my visions into reality. You prayed me. You prayed for me. You placed me in my destiny. You gave me life. You gave me love. The greatest gift you gave was Christ. Oh, oh, mama, yeah. Mama, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Mama, yeah. Mama, yeah. You love me so, oh, mama, yeah. Mama, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Mama, yeah, yeah. Prayed for me, you prayed for me, yeah. You prayed away my doubts and fears. You prayed my visions into reality. You prayed for me, you prayed for me, yeah. You prayed away my doubts and fears. You prayed my visions into reality.
All right, Culture Vibes. We are back and we are live on Ladies Night with our second featured queen, Miss Venessa McLean, and you just heard Mama's Prayer. I love that. That is very positive and inspirational, which is another reason that I had wanted you to be our featured guest this evening, because, I'm sure with your mom's prayers and, the discipline that you have, helped you to achieve a lot of the things that you have achieved, because you are very accomplished. You have, law, what was it? A
master's in
masters,
law.
But that's what I was looking for, the masters in law. And you've done some speaking, on situations and been a legislation consultant and all kinds of, very important, things that you have accomplished. And I would like you to share some of that with Culture Vibes.
My academic accomplishment is thankful to my mother, but I was also raised with a stepfather whose family were academic, and he raised me to be brilliant. And my mother, she a lot of people do not know that your mother, that just like she pushed you into the world, she will push greatness out of you. And the prayers of my mother has led me down the route to study for a master's in law. And I'm an advocate for women's rights, and an advocate for legislation, the laws that govern us, and for clean legislation. And if you're the part of the law that I am at is the part that speaks to policy and formation before it gets to the point where you're handcuffed and thrown in jail. It's the part that tries to get the system clean. So I read for a master's in law because when, I couldn't have my way with singing reggae music, and the church, they started to make noise that the way I wanted to sing my own form of gospel. I said, I'm going to just go and read something encouraged by my stepfather and my environment. So I read, and I have published in the area of women's rights. For example, one of my papers is in the Commonwealth Law Journal. It speaks to the patriarchy within the legal system, that's some form of gender neutral drafting, where you say the person, eliminates he and she who may be the victims of certain things in social ills. And also in the European Law Journal, where I said there's too much legislation in women's bodies. So I said there's inflation in legislation on women's bodies because of how the reproductive system and women are treated as bodies rather than brain, when we are both, and we are all that. So I have published in the European Law Journal and some other social journals on the legal system and ethics and policy making. So I'm a published author and a legislation consultant by training and practice.
Wow, that is simply amazing accomplishments. Congratulations, that is awesome. And you're welcome, and I want to commend you for using your intelligence to be an advocate for women, and to be working with the legislation. That is major, because that is something that helps people actively. It's something that actively helps people. Like, you're getting in there, and people don't know that you're doing these things. So I just thought it was very important to bring that to the surface, because that is a major accomplishment. And I just want to say thank you for all that you do and have done.
And I thank you. I thank you, because our footsteps, me and you and the world and people in general, our footsteps were ordered by the Lord to be here tonight to bring out this greatness in women, to have a night for women, because we women, we go through a lot because of social construction, and even how the Bible has been misused. Because in one of my articles I said that, because it said because the woman ate the apple in the Garden of Eden, and she's gonna feel all this pain. We weren't in the Garden of Eden, and who ate the apple? Why did someone have to eat the apple, and why the woman had to get the blame for it? And that blame has been used for every ill that has come upon women, and the control that have been put on women to date. I'm sure the Most High did not intend it this way, but that is one of the things that I have argued about, how socially women are placed in society and so on. Yes.
Well, thank you, because we definitely need your voice. We need voices like you, to stand up for women and women's rights and be a voice, so thank you for that.
For women to be a voice, women need to be in all the spaces. Enough women need to be in all the spaces of importance. It's not enough to say men are making policies for women. Women need to be there so they can make policies that influence themselves, and how society is governed, because we are a part of the society. So it is very important that the bodies, the women, that they are in the right spaces. And even in music itself, you do need women to be in these spaces to speak out and sing out for, the rights of women. So it's a very good thing that the Lord has placed me in a position. However, sometimes, it has been part of my conflict though, because law and music and the two tassels, the two professions that, I've always had a tug of war inside of me as to where do I go. And but now that I know that the Most High has said that one is a means to an end, and they are both also combined in that I am being given, a platform to say everything that I want to say musically and otherwise. So in terms of the rights of women and where women should be, even in our parliament, I argue that we should have a gender quota where you have, not more males than females. We need to have equal amount of women and men, and our qualification should be a guide. But we cannot make invisible things like gender that is so important in a physical space such as parliament, where we do not have enough women MPs, for example, there, and all the violence against women. Who is standing up? Because I remember when you said to come on this program that you didn't want a certain level of violence that the show does not promote. And I'm very happy that you said that as a sister, because we need to ensure that every space that we have is gendered, so that we don't have one gender and the other. And, even the domestic violence in the society. And how the laws are implemented. Does the law aid? Does it keep quiet? Because even in form of, domestic violence, where you would say that in a rape case, you would say the person-in-law, the person who has perpetrated the rape. To me, that form of drafting of legislation, without getting too technical, is saying that the person is obscuring the fact that the victim is she and the perpetrator is he. So instead of, if you're going to say the person, then you have to aggravate, i.e. where it is a male upon female crime, that the sentence must be more, it must be heavier. Otherwise, what are you saying? So little things like are big things like that, like those form of things are things that I would look into the legal system and look at. And if you have committees that are set up to implement some things, the gender of the committee, for example, you had a committee to administer benefits for coronavirus, for example, and it's set up under law so that the country can administer the benefits. And then on the committee, you would have 8 men and 2 women, for example. And these things are set up under law. Now, how do we implement with that kind of unbalance? And the laws permit all of these things through ignorance or deliberately, so that one gender can dominate the other, by virtue of the fact that the Most High had given physical strength to farm the land, to do all of the things on the land, to the male. And they do not realize that sometimes you have to give women more, give women more to make them better. For example, 2 of us want to reach a ceiling, and I am shorter than you are. I need a chair. I'm female. You can reach a ceiling by yourself, you're male. So there's a problem in giving me the chair because you do not want me to reach the ceiling. Mm-hmm. It is giving me more. And is the implementation of our laws and the policies going there to give women that extra bit more in terms of what it is that we need to excel as a society, as the mothers who has given birth to the entire universe. This entire universe was pushed out by women. So you understand where my legislation background comes from, because I'm a social and political scientist as well as someone with a master's in law. So therefore, I analyze the hidden things within the legal system, socially, politically, and legally, that is affecting the system in any form or shape. It's gender, one of the things, but it could be other things within the system. It could be corruption. It could be, it could be who gets more of the benefits on the corona board. Is it men or is it women? And because it is dominated by men, then the men would administer for men to get more than women. It's just an example I'm using. And would you not call that corruption? So it is little things like that we would look at. It's gender and all sorts of different things within the legal and social and political system that I analyze. And let's not get so technical tonight on the ladies' night.
But that was amazing, and I thank you. I just want to say Thank you, because you are not only, a voice and looking into things to create that balance, for women, but for all injustices. It seems like, where something can be changed to made better or fair, where it's not right, like you said, corruption and all these things. So it is important to have people like you to do these things for us, for those of us who, are not savvy, in that area.
I'll get a little bit mischievous now. For example, you're in a band, you're the singer female, and the band is all male. Can you imagine when you say you're playing that note wrong as a woman?
Right.
How it can go sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
You would expect a male artist, maybe he can raise his voice. They expect the woman to, be careful in how she speaks to all these giants around.
Oh, right. Intimidation.
So music is a very male-dominated space as well.
It is.
And so on, yes. And also, Mama taught me something very important. She taught me to promote others.
Oh, okay.
So you would find that I'm a person who promotes a lot of other people in music, because even our reggae music, for example, I just think we need to put the brain back there in terms of how the music is being managed. I'm from Jamaica, and I believe reggae is the international music. Pardon my bias. However, as a country, how is it benefiting us? How is the culture benefiting us in terms of its transplantation and the benefits back in Jamaica? Because when you look at the Chinese, they have successfully managed to transplant their own culture. Perhaps not their music, but their martial arts and the kung fu shows. Then it was food that they transplanted. And Jamaica has got the reggae music that has been transplanted around the world. But how is that transplantation coming back to build Jamaica as a country, or even the music industry? How is it benefiting artists? Do we have a hierarchy within the music, and who is benefiting and the artist, and how do we develop young artists who are very talented to get out there? What is the engine? Is the media? I noticed you had a playlist with new persons playing, and I must congratulate you.
Thank you.
Because that's the kind of thing that young artists need, the kind of platform. They have so much talent, but the biases to getting out there, to promotion, it's not easy, especially for those who are not so educated, to have that engine, and then they are, the lack of education flows from poverty. So, a lot of issues within the music I've noticed since I have entered that needs solutions, and persons who care to promote this world and see it as a globe other than being selfish for themselves.
And I definitely agree with that. It is all about not being selfish and helping, you know what I'm saying? Supporting and promoting, like you said, and just, I think it just makes everybody, feel more united and feel more powerful together when you can support and build a network like that, to where, everybody can be heard.
A gentleman from Ghana, could you please spell his name? The gentleman, one of the connections, the gentleman.
Oh, on the rotation list?
No, the promoter, one of those promoters, here.
Oh, Rem True Promotions.
Yes.
In Ghana.
So I want to just, big up that gentleman, because he is a global person who thinks globally and thinks in terms of the network that is necessary to to connect everyone globally in music, because it is necessary. Once there is good music out there, people must hear it, because especially in a time like this, the only thing I can think of, two things that heals people, is the Most High and music. What else?
Yes.
And the food, food.
Yes, food. True.
Yeah.
Yes, and yes, definitely wanted to say big up to Rim True Productions, because that is, how I am going to Ghana. It was supposed to be next month, but it's not happening now with the madness going on in the world. But it will be.
I tell you what, I declare. Someone said they are looking not to put any tours out until next year. I am declaring it in the atmosphere now that this coronavirus will not inhibit any more tours, and that it will go as quickly as it came in the for the Most High. I'm declaring it now as a woman. I am putting it out in the atmosphere that this coronavirus, it will vanish. We are not going to sit and roll over. We are going to do everything necessary as human beings, and spiritually to the Most High, we are going to speak to the Most High, clean up our acts, clean up our hearts, and ask the Lord to remind us of His strength. Because in a time like this, we are human beings and we promote love, but we have people around us that are not ethical, that are not practicing love, and that have some devious methods of doing things out there. We don't know where this thing came from, but we are asking the Most High to remove it and cleanse the earth at this time, so that we can get on with the business of giving praise to the Most High and our day-to-day life for that which we were created. We are not spiritually going to tolerate this coronavirus for a long time. It will go as quickly as it came.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And with that, we are going to get into another song by Miss Venessa McLean. Check it out. Culture Vibes.
Blessed love, this is Keisha Lee. Stay locked to KNR Radio, the beat of the kingdom.
You're listening to Hempress Selektress on KNR1 Radio.
When my head becomes so full and my heart is so puffed up, just remind me, dear Lord, of your love. At times I feel like David and I'm standing before Goliath. Just remind me how you slew that giant down. Lord, remind me. Please remind me, Lord. Lord, remind me. Please remind me of your strength. And when my problems overwhelm me and I feel like giving up, I stand on your words. At times I feel like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the midst of the fire. But just remind me, oh Lord, that the fire won't burn me. Please remind me. Just remind me, oh Lord, that you promised never to leave me on, never to take me over. Blessed our Lord, God remind me. Please remind me, Lord. Lord, remind me. Please remind me of your strength. Oh, every moment, every minute, please remind me of your strength. Give me grace for the race and remind me to have a faith. Give me peace and your courage and your guidance every day. Lord, remind me, please remind me of your strength. But against the rulers of iniquity, against spiritual wickedness in high places. But take courage in the fact that the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous ran into it and they are saved. God has spoken once. Power belongs to God. Power belongs to God. Power belongs to God.
Wow. That was very, very powerful. Culture Vibes. We are live with Miss Venessa McLean on Ladies Night Right here on Culture Vibes. Yes, that was a very...
Power belongs to the Most High God. Power
Yes.
belongs to the Most High. And now he has spoken to us on earth. That particular song, it was written because when you are I spoke about the implementation of your duties coming from my training, where God had prepared me. I think he directed me to my line of studies, because after doing the law degree, and I was led to go and do this type of masters to cleanse the legal system. When you go to work in some environments, they do not want you to implement with fairness in mind, and with love in mind, and with the principles of the Most High in mind. So you get a lot of obstructions. You get a lot of Goliaths that stand before you, because they are doing things. People will be doing things that are influencing biology, influencing social order, by creating inequality in how they carry out their duties and the power and the positions that God has given them. So I was, set upon, because of me wanting to be fair, because this is all I have learned from a child. My mother had put kindness in me. She had put the words of the Most High, and I had gone through a sieve before, returning back to the country of my birth. And that is where that song came from, when I was, set upon in a way that was not good, because I would not follow a system that I know is socially not correct, and where it would lead us possibly like a place where we are today, where the Most High has become wroth with us because of our ways. And that is where this song is coming from, where, I was provoked one day, and, I was becoming upset, and the Lord said, don't become upset. Just take your phone out and record. And that is where that song came from. And the song is sung in Yoruba. My son is half Yoruba, and it's sung in Xhosa, which is Nelson Mandela's language. And I dedicated the Xhosa version song with praise poet Jessica from South Africa. There's a version, Xhosa version. I dedicated it to Nelson Mandela, because as a leader who wanted to see the rights for his people, he was thrown in jail. But he was, the Lord took him out and raised him to a place of power. And that to me is saying that power belongs to the Most High. At this time, the whole world must know that power belongs to the Most High God. It does not come from man. It comes from the Most High.
You are right. I definitely agree with that. And everything that you have described and discussed throughout your journey, and experiences and things that you're involved in, and how you as an individual are, making an impact to affect lots of people, when it comes to working with the legislative branch. It's all, like you had mentioned kind of earlier, which is the name of one of your songs, your footsteps being ordered to do these things. Yes. Like there is like this calling on your life to do important things for your people, for women, and I think that is amazing. That is so powerful.
Well, one pastor saw me when my mother died, and I decided to become an academic, and I was gonna not bother with any music. And two pastors just looked at me, didn't know anything about me, and said to me that the Most High says you must marry your training with the music, otherwise the training will not go how it is to go in where God wants you to go, because the two are interrelated. And when pastors look at you and tell you must follow the musical calling as well as the academic calling, then I knew what time it was, because I didn't take it serious, and all of what they said would happen. It's not going to go well if you do not follow your musical calling. So I realized that it is a calling, and I realized that even during the period of studies and so on, and being hidden, that my footsteps was being hidden in places where I am, where I could sit as you could say, the fly on the wall. I don't mean it, as a person who could sit and observe socially and politically in an innocent position what is going on in the society and its construction, the rights and the wrongs, and what needs putting well. And when you're called, the favor of God is on you. So people will come to you and they will speak to you about things that they otherwise wouldn't have spoken to persons about, because the Bible itself tells you that even the wicked stays close to the wise, because the wise knows the things of the Most High. And it is revealed to them. So even the wicked would want to stay close to the wise people. And even though they do not like you, and they would rather destroy you, but they would stick close just to see where you're going and to see how they can block you and obstruct the things that God has put in you. But God hid. If you look at Moses, he was put in a basket to float down the river. If you look at Joseph, he was thrown in a ditch with his brothers. They put him in a ditch, and all of those leaders, David, they had to go amongst the people that held the people of the Most High captive for a number of years. They had to learn their ways. They had to learn their systems to deliver God's people and come up with solutions to, the system that is just not working. This man-made system that has gone away from the directions of the Most High. It's just not working. So God had to put some of us in places where we could observe the social order, so that one day we could even put it in our songs. If you look at the great Bob Marley, and some of his songs was a prophecy. When he says, he says a lot of things that are prophecies. Today he could say it in his song. I'm sure Bob Marley had walked a journey where things was revealed to him, so he could come and prophesy through songs. And those with multiple callings, like David was a musician, and he was a king, he was a politician, and he was a chief warrior. If you messed with David, he would war. David was one of those kind of men who had a multiple calling, and his footsteps were ordered. So the footsteps is about people in music, in politics, in yourself, who is on the radio, who is putting persons out there like us, who is carrying a message. Your footsteps were ordered. And I'm sure you two were hidden until God is ready for you. So no Pharaoh, no Herod that came after baby Jesus, none of them could stop your calling or where you are to go to, no matter what they did. We had to meet tonight because our footsteps were ordered by the Most High.
Wow. That is beautiful. And with that, Culture Vibes, that is a perfect introduction to this song called My Footsteps Were Ordered by the Lord. Let's check it out. Miss Venessa McLean.
You're listening to Hempress Selekatress on KNR1 Radio.
They have tried to block my path. They have tried to destroy my future. But in every circumstance, yeah, I got peace and confidence, yeah, that my footsteps, they are ordered by the Lord. Uncovered in God's season, unleashed upon the earth to do His blessed will, yeah, to love, yeah, and conquer all the evil. Oh, my footsteps, they were ordered by the Lord, yeah, to do His blessed will, yeah, to love. to His blessed way. To love and conquer Him. My footsteps, they were ordered by the Lord. My footsteps, they were ordered by the Lord. My footsteps, they were ordered by the Lord.
All right. Yes, thank you. That was awesome. My footsteps were ordered by the Lord by Miss Venessa McLean, our featured guest for Ladies Night right here on Culture Vibes. Thank you so much for sharing, your music with us and your skills, your talent, your intelligence, the things that you do for us behind the scenes that people probably don't know, that you're working for us, especially for women, but for people as a whole. Thank you very much, and much continued success to you. And I just can't say thank you enough. It is very, very important what you're doing, and I appreciate you, and the listeners of Culture Vibes appreciate you.
Thank you so much for bringing me on such an important show in an important month, an important ladies' night.
You're welcome. No problem. And if you have any final words, anything we did not cover, anything you want to share?
Yes, I want to say something to musicians. That song Footsteps and I Am Covered, they are written from the Bible and biblical perspective. And one fellow said to me, he said, I just wanted to use his exact words, I got start right, I sang them from the Bible. Because I noticed, you sang them right from the Bible. And they are being played at the four corners of the globe. So I got start right. Even the love song, soft love, a soft answer turns away wrath, previous words stir anger. And the songs of Solomon teaches us love, and the Bible is the greatest teacher of love. And I just want to say to everybody, let's get back to basic. Let's get back. Every religion that you could think of have a book that they call the religious books, and we fight over the differences, yet we do not unite over the similarities, and all books teach us love. And I just want to unleash the power of love and the power of healing upon the earth tonight. And also, before going, I just want to say thank you to Mr. Carr for, one of the persons who promoted, assisted my promotion management team and so on. I just want to say thank you, and thank you to you. And world, we are going to be healed. We're going to be healed because we will speak healing, and us women will push out. We will birth healing. We will inhale healing. The universe will be healed by virtue of all the women in the universe. I think when we cry, it has a special meaning. So all of us as women tonight, I'm saying to us, let us repeat wherever you are. Read the words of Psalm 91 and read the Psalms that will heal the land. Say the prayers that will heal the land, because healing comes from the Most High. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful night.
Thank you. You too. Bless up yourself. All right. Culture Vibes. That was Miss Venessa McLean, and that concludes Ladies Night. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for listening. Make sure to tune in each and every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Culture Vibes, hosted by me, Hempress Selekatress. Bless up, everybody. Thank you. Good night.